everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Bethany, and today, as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be showing you guys how I trim my hair and how I do my kind of like DIY diva cut or whatever you want to call it. I like to cut my hair dry and freshly washed, so I did wash my hair this morning. I styled it, and then I went in to do the snip, 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 snip. So, as you guys can see, I have a very dramatic makeup look going on. I kind of was playing around with makeup, and I was like, I'm going to film something, but I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I was like, girl, your hair is looking all kinds of crazy, and I had been meaning to trim it for like weeks. So I wanted to film it, so that's why I hadn't done it yet, but I've just been so busy. But enough excuses. So this is my hair. I like to go for a layered look. So as you guys can see, I like it to have this more layered effect. My hair was looking, well, you'll see in the before clip, but it was just looking very, very just uneven. It was like straight across on the bottom in some areas. It was skipped and then it was straight again. It was just kind of crazy. So this is what I like to do to not only trim my hair, but also to shape my hair. And those are the two main reasons. But when you do trim your hair, you get a lot of things that go along with that. You get more volume, you get fuller, healthier looking hair, you get better shape, it's easier to style, it gets less frizzy when you get like, you know, all the weird wonky pieces off the ends, and it's just overall more polished and your hair will look fuller and healthier, and it's just better. So yeah, if you guys want to see how I trim my hair at home and do a DIY diva cut situation, then keep on watching. Okay, you guys, so I'm starting off using my Show Hair Blend Oil. This is the oil I used in my last video I showed you guys, and this is my favorite oil to use on my hair. So I'm smoothing this over my hair, and the reason I'm doing this is because, as you can probably tell, all of my curls are not separated, and so when you trim your hair, you want to make sure your hair is as separated as possible, and I always use an oil when I'm separating my hair, so that's just how I'm starting off. And now I'm going through and I'm separating all of the curls as much as possible. I'm trying to eliminate as much frizz as possible as well. Of course, some of the pieces on the ends of my hair have some color damage, so they kind of tend to be more frizzy. But that's where the oil kind of comes in and helps some. But you do want to make sure that your curls are separated. So I'm going through my entire head and making sure that I separate my curls. I have the most volume that I can get at the moment, and that, you know, you don't want to cut off a one big old fat curl, so you just want to make sure that it's as separated as possible so you have accuracy and you can really see what you're doing. I'll never forget you're golden. I will find the light in your soul. I'll be there. Never leaving you in the darkness. So after you separate your curls, you want to just take a good look at your hair the way that it is. You want to get an idea for, you know, the shape you want, where things need to be rectified, where you need to cut more, and what you need to leave there. You just want to kind of like look it over. I'm kind of looking at some of the damaged pieces, the kind of the shape of my hair, and just figuring out, you know, what I'm going to do when I start cutting. I'm looking at those straight angles. I'm just like, ooh, girl, you need to do something. So just make sure you check it out first. So when you start, you want to make sure that you use hair cutting shears. Don't use regular craft scissors. Don't use kitchen scissors. No, no, no. You want to make sure that you're using the proper scissors to cut your hair. So I'm starting off on the left side of my head, and the first thing that I'm going to start off doing is just cutting off the damaged ends. So like I said, I have some color damage from some previous color experiences, and I'm just cutting off the pieces of hair that are no longer formed into a proper curl anymore. My hair, it's like, it's not necessarily has split ends, but you can tell that the curl pattern is not healthy. So I'm cutting those off. You want to make sure that when you do cut your hair, you are cutting in a clean cut, that you're not doing like this like gradual cut or anything like a tapered type of cut. You want to make sure that you do a clean cut. You can do it at an angle, but just make sure it's a clean snip. You don't want to have like, when you do like that more tapered cut, it tends to make the hair more frizzy after you wash it and it doesn't look good. So just make sure you do clean cuts if you're going to be doing this yourself at home. Of course, going to a professional is always, you know, probably the best thing, but I just have trust issues, so, you know, whatever. So I'm doing it myself and I'm showing you guys what I do because you guys have asked. So I'm just going through, like I said, and getting like those really just rough looking pieces off the ends. And doing this, like, my hair already looks healthier than it looked before, and I haven't even started like really shaping it yet. So I'm just going through and trimming off those little pieces. And so after I do the overall trim, then I go in and start to mess with the shape and start, you know, getting the shape the way I want it. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. What I'll do is kind of look at pieces that I feel are too long in order for me to get that shape that I want, and I just start to trim them little by little. So there you see some really wonky bits on the end. You can just tell that's not a pop and curl, so it's got to go. So I'm just trimming those off. And you want to cut one curl at a time. A couple times I just got, you know, a little lazy and I just cut like 2 at once, but you really just want to cut one curl at a time. It's called the curl by curl method, and it's just best. Sometimes you'll have a piece that kind of looks like it's got left hanging, like that piece in the front, and when I wash my hair, the curls will form back, but sometimes the curls can't form properly if the dead ends are weighing it down. So sometimes on those type of pieces, I just wait until I wash my hair again, and then I can always touch it up, you know, after I wash my hair. I'm just going through and starting to get that layered shape. As you guys can see it forming. It's kind of a funny angle because I have to turn my head in order to look into the mirror. So you guys can see what I've done after I turn back forward. But I'm just kind of, you know, creating that layered look, as you guys can see. It's really not that hard. You just have to be patient with it. And like I said, do one curl at a time, see where it falls. I like to grab it right where I want it to fall, and then I just pull it down slightly and cut it. And the reason I pull it down is so that I don't accidentally cut another piece of my hair and then cut a big chunk off, and then I'll just be like, ah. So that's pretty much what I do. I start off cutting off all the wonky pieces, the pieces that don't look how they're supposed to look, and then I go in and I start to shape up the hair. And I do one side at a time. I do one side, then I move to the other side. And during the entire process, if I see another piece like this one here that just looks, ooh girl, you need to cut that, then I'm just going to go ahead and snip it off. Sometimes you don't see everything the first time, so even the next day I was looking at my hair and I said, oh, there's a piece there, I need to fix that. It's kind of just like, you can't see your whole head at once like you could if you were a hairstylist looking at your head, so sometimes it takes, you know, more than one look at it to get it right. Alright, so now I'm moving to the right side of my head, and I'm starting off again with the wonky pieces. As you can see, the pieces that just don't look right, I'm cutting them off, and it's going to be kind of harder for you guys to see me do the right side of my head because of the way I need to look into the mirror. So I'm just going to kind of speed through it, but I did the exact same thing as I did on the left side, which was really easy for you guys to see. So first I'm getting off the pieces that look so crazy, and then of course I'm going in and, you know, getting the overall shape together. Okay, you guys, so now I'm pretty much finished getting the overall shape together. Like I said, there may be some pieces that I have to go back later and take a look at. The back of my hair looks crazy because I pulled it all forward in order to be able to get the shape right. So I just kind of split it down the back and pushed it forward so I can kind of get the shape. But my hair looks so much better than before, as you guys can see. And now I'm just going to kind of like fluff my hair out so you can kind of see the shape even more when I have a lot of volume. And trimming my hair allows my hair to have more volume because of that layered shape that I was talking about. And that's the reason I love to do that shape, because it just makes my hair look more like a style and less like, girl, what you doing? So yeah. Okay, you guys, so this is the final result that I get on my hair. As you guys can see, I no longer have like those like weird straight angles going on anymore, and it just looks more polished and healthier and fuller, and I can get tons of volume, and it's awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, please. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer them for you guys. And yeah, I love you guys so much. But you guys should already know that, but I hope you know. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.